I'm here with Mike and Chris. Mike, Scagz, Chris, the captain.
Yes, sir.
You guys have the greatest podcast in the universe called Two Doomed Men.
Yes, we do.
Why are you two doomed men?
Good. Well, for a while, we started this podcast at the beginning of COVID, just pre-COVID, maybe 2-3 weeks before COVID.
Right.
And all the negative attention Trump was getting.
Yep.
So if you voted Democrat, you believed you were doomed. If you voted, Republican, you believed you were doomed with Joe Biden or anything like that.
Right.
And at the beginning of this, it was the Republican arguing with the Democrat. And the whole idea was to find common ground for the podcast.
I get it.
Because media wanted to separate us and divide us.
I get that.
Yes.
Now, since then, you guys have covered a lot of different topics.
Oh, yeah.
What are your favorite topics to talk about on your podcast?
I love anything where we get a fan or somebody very interesting to come on. Like when we had you come on, we've had...
That was a low. That was a down.
That was a high.
That was a high. But since then you've come up.
Yeah. So, okay. Anytime we get a good, interesting person to come on and interview and give their story and give their piece and perspective, that's always my favorite.
And it's about politics.
It's about politics. We talk a lot about current events. I've always said on the show, I kind of like talking about the reaction people having to things instead of whatever the item might be itself. I always find that a little bit more interesting.
You like to poke the bear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How do people react to whatever's going on in the world? The psychology kind of behind that. I find that a little bit more interesting.
Now, you consider yourselves hardcore Republicans and hardcore Democrats? That you too?
It's changed. It's changed since then. I'm in this weird place of the Libertarian world and the Republican world.
And then
he's all the way around.
I've been radicalized. I'm an anarcho-capitalist now after the past couple of years of COVID.
And I'm
still working on Chris, huh?
Yeah, still working on Chris.
Well, I very much understand where he comes from, and there's a lot of principles that I'm like, yes, I agree with this.
When I was your age, which is to say about 75 years ago, I thought I was a Republican.
Right.
And a buddy of mine said, for those of you who know him, my buddy Russ Page, sometime in the 90s, he says to me, "You're a Libertarian." And I said, "I don't say horrible things about you. Why would you say such a mean thing to me about myself?" And of course, he was exactly right. So I just want to inform you, you are a Libertarian.
I believe it is.
We're just moving, it's just your self-awareness that is really going on. All right, your most recent episode, what was it about?
We were talking about the Dublin riots last couple of weeks. Conor McGregor, the kind of restrictions they're trying to think of there.
That's a weird story, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. They have no representation as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
The whole government is siding with the immigrants and silencing their own people.
It's really a shame.
Yeah.
As messed up as our protection of the First Amendment is here in the United States, there are places around the world that have it arguably even worse than we do.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, too. Conor McGregor himself is teasing that he might run for office. And it kind of reminded me a little bit about Jeff Dyson.
I think he should. Are you on board with that?
I think he should. It reminded me kind of Jeff Dyson talking about elites need to step up. And we have natural elites or these phony elites that we have in charge right now that are kind of product of the system.
And this is a guy who's used to speaking his mind, who doesn't strike me, how do I say this, as likely to be captured by some weird political force. Am I right?
Doesn't seem that way.
He doesn't need the coin. He doesn't need the fame, right? He can speak his mind.
Exactly.
All right. What's it going to take to get him on your podcast?
Oh, Conor.
An active guy.
That'd be awesome.
Open invite, Conor, if you want to come on anytime.
Maybe he's in America. Joe Rogan a call or something.
He just had another. I think he's in America.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in America.
Conor is in the United States.
Yeah, I think so. It's actually probably the best idea.
Now, does he have to show up at your place?
No,
to do it.
We do it all
remotely.
Yeah, sure.
Anywhere in the globe, Conor, we got you. We will get you on.
Okay, we'll have to. I promise our team is going to reach out to him, and we'll try.
I like the sound.
No guarantees.
All right.
Now, today we are someplace in Connecticut. We're here for the Libertarian Convention.
Yes, okay.
Is it going well for you guys so far?
It's going well so far.
This is our second time, but it's great.
Okay. Yeah. Now, all this has been pretense for two final questions. The second one I'm going to ask you is, where can people find you on the internet? So start thinking about your answer to that. That's a relatively unimportant question. Mm-hmm. This is the most important. Everything else has been leading up to this. This is the only question I've been wanting to ask you guys. When will you run for local office, and which offices will they be? Captain, you first.
It's funny. I have daydreamed about this idea. I would definitely. I live in Stamford. I would definitely look for a local office. I would like to see my home.
School board, sheriff.
I don't have
mayor.
a kid. I don't have a child, so I wouldn't do the school board. If I
that
did,
might be creepy.
Right.
It might be creepy.
I could see him.
Some guy just really like children.
Right.
Yeah, that
I could see you running on a school board and doing phenomenal. You have principals.
Okay, we're going to beat up on him in a minute. But for you,
I don't know
city
where.
Council,
Yeah,
local city council, something like that. Good place to start.
That's something I would like to do.
Okay, someplace where you could beat up on bad cops.
Yeah.
Call them out. I like
just
that.
Call out city hypocrisy and corruption.
I love that. And then we're going to talk about more about how to change the way we manage police officers, because that's a hot button for me. We'll talk about that. Scagz.
So people have asked me before that question, and
I'm not the first. I'm
I don't have any plans of doing that anytime soon. I have thought about it when I'm closer to retirement age, to be honest with you. I wouldn't
Which is
mind.
in a few weeks for you?
You're lucky.
I don't know what that is.
What are you, 23?
I am 34.
That's like 23, but 11 years older. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've thought about it when I'm younger, family coming up right now, so now's not the right time. But I've thought about running for first selectman of my town in Connecticut.
What is the selectman?
Mayor, essentially. That's just
mayor.
what we call it here. So I have thought about it.
How big is your town?
About 25,000 people.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
It's captured by old style Democrats.
I get it.
But there's a lot of people who have left New York State, kind of fled. And move there looking kind of like...
I will love that. Can I help campaign for you guys?
Yes,
of course.
Yeah, we need to show up. Yeah. I'm very good at passing out literature to people who are disinterested. Standing in the Walmart parking lot, it's like my favorite thing to do. Nice. I like literally chase them with a flyer.
Yeah. Throw it into their cars.
Can we do that?
Oh, yeah. It takes a lot of chutzpah to do that. People do not like being chased down or solicited.
No, they don't. I noticed that. Good point. We'll come up with some other tactics, too. Great to be with you
Mike,
guys.
thanks for having us.
Now, last question. Where can we find you on the internet?
Easiest place to go is linktree.com/2domen, but we have a presence almost everywhere.
Let's go slower on that one. Linktree.com/2 TWO or the numeral 2?
2 TWO.
TWO, doomed, which is DOOMED. Men. The men refers to you two.
Yes, sir.
And that's where they find the podcast.
Yeah, it'll literally open up a link to all our social media and all of our platforms.
That's probably too much for me. If I just find the podcast, that's enough.